Thank you all for joining us today and welcome to this webinar, Top Ways to Reduce Stress. I am your host and moderator, Antoinette Silva. I am the Project Coordinator of Professional Development here at the Society for Public Health Education. And on behalf of the Society for Public Health Education, we are pleased with the interest in today's webinar and are very thankful that you have taken the time out of your day to participate. Before I hand it over to today's speaker, I'd like to cover some housekeeping items. First, please know that all attendees are muted for the duration of today's webinar. To interact with the speaker, please use the chat box. And throughout the webinar, our speaker will be taking questions, so feel free during and after the webinar to ask questions. After hearing from our presenter, we will have a question and answer session with the time remaining. Questions can be submitted again at any time during the webinar by typing in the chat box. We value your feedback and ask you to complete the feedback form that will pop up in your internet browser immediately following today's webinar. Your evaluations of this program will assist us in planning future webinars. Thank you. Please know that today's webinar is being recorded and will be archived on SOPHE's online learning portal, the Center for Online Resources and Education, or CORE, within 2 weeks of today's air date. Today's session has been approved for one entry-level Category 1 Continuing Education Contact Hour. This program is designated for Certified Health Education Specialist, or CHES, and or Master Certified Health Education Specialist to receive up to a total of 1 credit hour. This session has also been approved for 1 CPH renewal credits by the National Board of Public Health Examiners. For those who choose to apply for continuing education, again, this webinar is a free live webinar, and in order to receive full credit, you have to visit SOPHE's CORE and create a free CORE account if you haven't already, and understand that CE fees do apply. As a quick introduction, SOPHE is a nonprofit organization founded in 1950, dedicated to providing global leadership to the profession of health education and health promotion, and to promote the health of all people. Members include health education professionals and students throughout the United States and internationally. The organization promotes healthy behaviors, healthy communities, and healthy environments through its membership, its network of local chapters, and its numerous partnerships with other organizations. Now I'm very excited to introduce today's speaker, Kristen Harper, who is a health and wellness speaker, and her website right there below. Thank you, Kristen. Take it away.
Okay, so here we go. Okay, so I apologize for that. This is Kristen Harper, and I am a health and wellness speaker, and my website is KristenHarperSpeaks.com. And I just want to say thank you so much for this opportunity. It's definitely a passion of mine to speak on health and wellness, especially reducing stress. And I'm really excited to talk about this topic because according to WebMD, 75 to 90% of all doctor office visits are for stress-related ailments and complaints. So stress is a huge problem. Also, I am a nutrition consultant certified. I have 2 hair analysis diplomas. I have a company that I founded back in 2009, which is called Perfect Health Consulting Services. And I have been consulting clients all over the world, reviewing hair tests, and then designing Increase Your Vitality programs to balance body chemistry naturally, which includes a healthy diet, recommending nutritional supplements to balance body chemistry and the minerals on a hair analysis. And then healthy lifestyle is really important. And reducing stress is part of the healthy lifestyle pillar. And then detoxification to remove toxins from the body. And then also meditation. I also am a radio show host. My show is Tips to Keep You Healthy, Happy, and Motivated on Voice America's Health and Wellness channel, which is at voiceamerica.com, which is one of the largest internet radio networks in the world. And my show is also on KFNX, and my show is every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time on Voice America, and then on KFNX is Sundays at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So that is more about me. And I also have a master's in administration with an emphasis in health promotion and a bachelor's in business management. And for quite a while now, I'm actually going back to college, I'm actually presently going to University of Alabama. I've been taking a lot of science courses, but my goal is to eventually get into medical school and become a naturopathic doctor. That's my goal, and I'm hoping to go to medical school next year is my goal. So my passion is definitely health and wellness. So today's presentation is all about the top ways to reduce stress. Okay, so let's talk about what does stress do. Okay, now there's stress. Number one is that stress will deplete magnesium, which is a mineral, from the body very quickly. And when magnesium is depleted, that will cause issues in terms of heart function, blood sugar regulation, and many other problems. And so on a hair analysis, I told you my background is in hair analysis as well. And let me just tell you what a hair analysis is first for those that are not familiar with it. It's a cellular test, it's a tissue biopsy, and a hair analysis test for minerals and toxic metals. And there are many people that have mineral imbalances and heavy metal toxicity. Now, there are certain patterns on a hair analysis which will show if someone is going through intense stress. And one indicator is a high sodium level, having a high sodium-potassium ratio. And when that happens, that can increase the magnesium burn rate, and then that person is actually needing magnesium. They're depleting their magnesium, which can cause health issues. So also, not only will magnesium be depleted because of stress, but also stress will deplete zinc as well, and zinc is a mineral. And zinc and magnesium are tested on a hair analysis. And what happens is when zinc is depleted, it is harder for magnesium and potassium to be retained. And magnesium and potassium are within the cells. Okay, so minerals are depleted because of stress. So other issues, and before I even talk about these other issues like insomnia, just so you know the difference between a hair analysis and a blood test, because most people are familiar with a blood test. And I got familiar with hair analysis back in 2001, and I had some health issues since I was a child, and I struggled and tried a lot of healing modalities out there, and I wasn't getting answers. And then when I got my hair analysis done back in 2001, I realized I had adrenal fatigue. And that was the reason I was so tired. And your adrenal glands are really important because they're involved with energy production. So your thyroid gland and your adrenal glands are involved with energy production. So in order to have the maximum amount of energy in the body, both glands need to be working optimally. So that's when I discovered the hair analysis and discovered why I was so tired, and realized that, and I love hair analysis. I've consulted clients all over the world on hair tests and have been reviewing my own hair tests since 2001, been working with clients since 2009. So the difference between a blood test and a hair analysis is, let's say you have a zinc deficiency, or let's say you have a magnesium deficiency because of stress. What's going to happen is your body is going to move that mineral out of your tissues, such as your hair, and is going to move that mineral into the blood to maintain the blood because the blood is so vitally important. So the blood stays balanced. The minerals will stay balanced in the blood, but that deficiency is going to be picked up in the hair. So hair is like an early indicator. So that deficiency will be picked up in the hair, in the tissues. And another difference would be, let's say you had a toxic metal exposure. Let's say you had an exposure to mercury or another toxic metal. Your body is going to move that toxic metal out of your blood in 90 days or less, and is going to push that toxic metal into the tissues, such as the hair, where it's going to do less damage to the body. So that's the reason that hair analysis is so effective at detecting toxic metals and also mineral deficiencies. So it's very easy. Let's say that you have stress going on and you become deficient in these minerals. It's very easy to detect these deficiencies on a hair analysis. And like I said, it's an early indicator. So that's the main difference between a hair analysis and a blood test. I just wanted to explain the difference between the two. So also what stress will do is it can cause insomnia, where it'll be very difficult for you to sleep at night. And based on hair analysis research, there's actually two different types of insomnia. There's one type that basically is associated with a magnesium deficiency. And recently there was a client who started working with me, and he had trouble sleeping. I mean, just on and on had trouble sleeping. And he started on some supplements that I recommended based off his hair analysis, and he started taking magnesium. And he just sent me a message recently and said, oh my gosh, this is like, I can finally sleep. I'm going to bed earlier. I really feel it's because of the supplements and the magnesium that he's taking. Okay, so stress will interfere, it will cause insomnia. Stress will interfere with relationships, even your personal relationships or relationships with friends, family, and others. Also, stress can cause high blood pressure, can also increase heart rates, can really compromise your immune system. Okay, and then so that's definitely an issue. And then also stress can interfere with digestion, where you have difficulties with your digestion. And I would say also, just one example too is that individuals that have gone through like emotional trauma, where there's a lot of stress that is put on their body, and I have seen this or I've just working with clients over the years, that their digestion can just really, really slow down, where it's difficult to digest and absorb nutrients. Also, even constipation can occur. And also, stress can really affect your emotional well-being and also physical health as well. So stress is very problematic, and it's affecting many people around the world, and I gave you those stats from WebMD. And so, and also, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to just put them in the chat box. I love to answer your questions. I'm so glad that you guys are here today. So if you have questions, please type them in the chat box. So basically, I want to move on to the next slide here. So since we know that stress is very problematic and it's affecting many people and causes physical issues and even your emotional well-being and more, we need to reduce stress. And one of my favorite ways to reduce stress is meditation. And I actually feel that every single person should be doing meditation because of the benefits and because it's non-denominational and it's so effective at reducing stress. And I told you about my radio show that I have, and I interviewed someone recently on my show, and he's a radio show host in Canada. And he's had a show, I think, for close to 7 years, and he's done a lot of shows during that time period. And he said that I believe 90% of the individuals that come on his show always recommend meditation. Meditation and also breathing. Whether it's deep breathing, but breathing is that they're just totally recommended by these individuals. And that's a huge percentage. I mean, 90% is what he said. I was just shocked. I was just blown away. But I understand the benefits. And before I get more into detail of what meditation is and how you can do meditation, let me just tell you my story. So I had an eating disorder for 9 years in my past. And I had a problem with binge eating, and my eating disorder started in high school, and I got obsessed with, the media where you see like the models even in magazines, and society expects you to, look a certain way and be a certain size, and I never had a weight problem, but I just got influenced by the media, and so I started to cut back on my food intake, and I wasn't eating very much. I remember times I was just eating green beans and popcorn and drinking diet soda, and I just got really obsessed with it. I just cut back on my food. I was getting thin, would go to the gym all the time and just run. And then what happened eventually is I started to have these really strong food cravings that took over my entire life. Like, they were so intense, and then I wanted to go binge on food, and I'd binge on like high-fat, high-sugar foods. And after I would binge, I mean, it makes you feel awful too. You don't feel good, and you're down on yourself, and you become very isolated. I didn't want to be seen in public, and I couldn't hold jobs, and it totally destroyed my life. And then after binge eating, I would go to the gym and run because I wanted to burn off all those calories. And then eventually I injured my knee, and then I couldn't run anymore, so I would just binge. And towards the end of my eating disorder, I had cravings all day long. And I tried a lot out there to try to get well, but nothing worked for me. All that time, 9 years, I had this eating disorder. And then what happened was, and I highly recommend you write this down. This is a really good resource for you guys. Is the book is called, and I discovered this. I would say I discovered the book probably within the 6 years that I had my eating disorder because I was seeking answers, and I came across this book. It's called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. He's a spiritual teacher. And I read the book, and I would say within like the first chapter, everything made sense to me. I was like, oh my gosh, I've been looking for answers all this time when I had my eating disorder, and this all makes sense. And Eckhart Tolle, he talks about quieting the mind, that the mind causes suffering. The mind causes addictions and an eating disorder and depression and much more, and that we must be quieting our mind. And that's what meditation does, is it quiets the mind. So I started to meditate. I did this for 3 years. Every single day I did my meditation, never skipped a day, and within 3 years my eating disorder completely vanished. The desire to binge eat went away. And I healed myself because of meditation. That is how powerful meditation is. So I recommend you get that book because meditation not only will help with overcoming eating disorders, depression, addictions, and much more. It'll improve health. it will reduce stress. And many people are going through stress. It will reduce stress. So I recommend the first step you take is get the Power of Now book by Eckhart Tolle. And then in his book, he talks about ways that you can quiet your mind. So when I first started meditation, I would do more of like breathing. So I would do my meditation, but I focus on my breath. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. And I did that, and it really helped me. It helped to quiet my mind. And like I said, I did meditation every single day. And to be honest with you, I love meditation so much. I'm still doing meditation today. And I think I've been meditating since 2003. And I do my meditation every afternoon. So I went from doing the breathing meditation, and then what I also did when I had my eating disorder and was trying to overcome it is I would go outside, and Eckhart Tolle talks about this, is you go outside and I would walk out in nature, and I would just focus on every step that you walk really slow, and you focus on each step. And you do this out in nature where there's no distractions, and that will quiet the mind. And that's what I would do. So I would do my deep breathing meditation, I would do my breathing meditation, and then I would go outside in nature and do my walks, walk really slow. That will quiet the mind. And also, people assume that you just have to, just sit around and quiet the mind, but there's other ways to quiet the mind without you just having to sit there. Now, me personally, what I do now, I've transitioned to where I meditate now, where in the afternoons I lay in bed, I lay on my back, and then I have my palms down when I'm meditating, and I feel the energy in my hands, and I like that because that's a form of meditation, but your hands are rich in nerves, so it's very easy to feel the energy in your hands. So that's what I do now. But in Eckhart Tolle's book, he just talks about like even being out in nature and you use your senses. Like if you smell something, or let's say you hear the birds chirp, you're using your senses. That's like mindfulness, where that will quiet your mind. Or I had a guest on my radio show recently, and he said he likes to cook, and he feels it's a way that quiets his mind. So basically, it's all about being in the present moment, quieting the mind, being aware. It's not about the past. It's not about the future. It's this present moment. Or let's say you're walking around the house. You just walk real slow, and you focus on each step, and you feel the energy in your body, and that's a way of quieting the mind as well. Or let's say someone's gardening or washing dishes. Be present, get out of your mind, quiet the mind, and let's say you're washing dishes and you feel the energy in your hands and being very present in the moment. That will quiet the mind as well. So meditation, I mean, it's so effective. It will improve health, will reduce stress, and so I recommend this for everyone. This is actually my top way to reduce stress. This is definitely number one, and I believe everyone should be doing it. And I did see someone too with yoga, and as far as in the chat box, and I will say, to be honest with you, I've never really been into yoga. I actually prefer meditation over yoga. I just feel like everyone should be doing it, and will reduce stress. And I just actually, and not only that, but it's like this inner peace. You feel this inner peace within. You're less affected by outer events that are going on in your life, and it'll help with depression. You can find your life's purpose. You can receive answers from your soul. So I highly recommend meditation, definitely. Okay, so next recommendation is sunshine. And I'm not saying you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to be out there just for hours and hours and hours. But even like, let's just say you're doing 20 minutes or even 30 minutes a day and just catching some sunshine, That is so relaxing, and I highly recommend it, is going out there. It will definitely reduce stress. And I would say, too, you just have to be very careful in terms of, the body care products that are out there, even like sunscreen. You got to be very careful because there's many out there that are full of toxins. And when you're putting that on your body, you can absorb those toxins into your body. So you have to be very careful. I prefer not putting, for myself, I prefer not putting on a sunscreen, but if you do choose that route, you want to find something natural. And I will say, just based on hair analysis research, many people are toxic, which can cause symptoms. Also, I will say nature is amazing to reduce stress. So I say my suggestion would be go outside. For myself personally, I go outside in the evenings and I go for my walk. So basically I love it because I'm going out in nature, and nature is so peaceful, and it's like your worries just go away. So maybe you've had a hard day at work. You just went through a lot of stress. And when you go outside, it's like everything changes, and it's just like you feel this sense of inner peace. So go outside into nature, whether it's just sitting at a park bench and listening to the birds chirp, or doing your meditation. I mean, you can even do meditation at a park bench and just sit there and focus on your breath, or go for a walk. And that's what I do. Every night I go for a walk. And one of the reasons I like to go for walks, too, is because we need to be moving our lymphatic system. And based on research, many people have lymphatic systems that are congested because of sedentary lifestyles where people are not doing enough exercise or just sitting around all the time. So I like to go out there for benefits and moving my lymphatic system, but also for meditation and reducing stress. So I recommend go outside. And also, I wanted to mention one more thing about being in nature. So on my show, I had a guest, and we were talking about grounding. Earthing is another word for it. I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but there's just research that with grounding, it's like you can even go outside and go barefoot. Let's say you're at the beach, or like I'm located here in Lake Havasu, and there's a lake here, but let's just say you go barefoot, or maybe you're in the grass and you go barefoot. There's health benefits to that. It can improve health, and it can also reduce stress. So I just say go outside, or let's say you have a family get-together and all of you just go on your back patio and just spend time outdoors. That will reduce stress. So, I see a comment here. The person says, I feel more stress during my academic semesters, the anxiety of meeting deadlines and the intensity of the semesters. So that's why it's really important. I totally understand. And for myself too, I have a really busy schedule. I have my businesses to run. I'm a speaker. I'm a radio show host. I'm going to college. I eventually plan on getting into medical school. And there's a lot going on, and so that's why I highly recommend these top ways to reduce stress. Is you can try all of these, or you can choose the ones that would really be best for your lifestyle, but I recommend that you implement this into your life. It will definitely help. And so especially meditation, I really recommend if everyone can just do the meditation, and then if you want to pick up some of these additional suggestions as well, but definitely meditation will help. And I also believe in work-life balance will help with reducing stress too. So you have to find that balance between work and your personal life. And I've talked about this. Actually, I was interviewed on a show on a network in Canada about work-life balance. So let's say someone is working, let's just say full-time jobs like 40 hours per week. But let's say someone's working over that. They're putting in 50 or 60 hours, well, that's not balance. You don't have any personal time for your health. I mean, you got to take time for yourself and take care of your health. So that's when you have to, figure out, okay, do I talk to my employer to see if I can cut back on my time and get down to the 40 hours? Or do I need to find another position? Or do I start maybe do like part-time work? Or maybe I start a business, like a part-time business, and start an internet business. But you have to figure out time. So you have to make sure that you have time in your personal life so that you can do your meditation. You need time for meditation every single day. You need time to eat healthy. You need time to, let's say you want to go outside in nature and do your walk. So you need time for yourself. Or another thing is, let's say someone's spending too much time at home watching Netflix or is on Facebook for too long, like too many hours. Well, you need to cut back. You need to cut back on that and focus more on the important things that will help your health, that will reduce stress, will improve your energy, will make you feel great. So you really have to focus on health. Health is the most important. So the next top way to reduce stress is music. And I would say, just an example would be like, let's say you like spiritual music, just something that's real calming, that's really good for the soul, that you feel like this sense of inner peace. Or let's say you enjoy classical music or something, but something that's just really just gives you that sense of inner peace. And so I recommend that. Something that just it's not too stimulating. It's not like something like heavy metal, but something that's just really peaceful, that just gives you that sense of inner peace. I think that's really good for stress. Also hobbies. So make sure you're doing something that you enjoy, have fun. So let's say you're just totally overwhelmed, you're stressed out, and let's say you had a really tough day at your job and it was just a lot going on. So when you get off work, maybe you want to, let's say like I'm over here at the lake, at Lake Havasu, maybe after work I want to spend some time at the lake with friends or something. So, or maybe you enjoy painting. That's another example. So I highly recommend whatever you enjoy, definitely get involved and have fun with your hobbies. And also I believe what's really important is make sure you're in a very positive environment. So you don't want to be around any negativity because that can just interfere with your health and can definitely stress you out. So you just want to make sure that you're around positive people, positive friends, people that believe in you and support you. So I do believe in just a positive environment. And so also I recommend for reducing stress is uplifting and inspiring books. So maybe you have a hero, someone that you look up to that really inspires you. Well, purchase a book on them and, read their book, and that will really inspire you. And there's quite a few people that really inspire me, but I will say that Eckhart Tolle is actually one of my heroes because he helped me, and with his teachings I was able to overcome my eating disorder. So an uplifting, inspiring book would be The Power of Now for me. So if you get stressed out, then, for example, that would be a great book to read, especially for me because he's definitely a hero. So I recommend uplifting and inspiring books. Okay, so other top ways to reduce stress is near-infrared sauna therapy. And I don't know if any of you know anything about this type of sauna therapy. And what I usually tell people is it's best to, I don't recommend you just start it. I don't recommend you just go purchase a near-infrared sauna and then just start it. I don't think that's a really good idea. I usually recommend people first you get a hair test done. You know what mineral imbalances you have, and then you get on the program to like eating healthy and taking supplements that will balance your body chemistry based off your hair analysis. I usually recommend people get a test done first before you start any type of detox therapy, especially for near-infrared sauna therapy. But I will say, let's say someone gets a hair test, and I recommend like healthy diet, taking nutritional supplements to balance their mineral ratios on their hair test, and a healthy lifestyle and more. Depending on the mineral pattern on the hair test, some people would really benefit from near-infrared sauna therapy. And what it is, and I will definitely show you on the internet what one looks like, a near-infrared sauna, but it basically consists of red heat lamps and have these 250-watt bulbs. And let's say someone on their hair test is really toxic. They have a high level of a toxic metal or more. Well, those toxins need to get out of your body because they can cause health issues. And so near-infrared sauna therapy will remove over 24 of toxic metals and hundreds of toxic chemicals from the body. And what I also like about it is there's other benefits that will like improve circulation and more, but it also reduces stress. And it feels so good. It's so relaxing. And basically when you're in the sauna, it's basically like you have the lights shining on your abdomen and your chest, and basically how it works is that you would rotate like every few minutes, and then just go around, and then like after a few minutes you'd have light shining on your side, and then you rotate again, and then the lights are shining on your back. And so this is very, very effective as far as reducing stress. And it's not for everyone. It just really depends on the hair analysis and what mineral pattern you have. And I do not recommend near-infrared sauna therapy for people that are especially, I would say, children that are under 5. That's not recommended. And even if children, let's say they're older than 5 years old, they have to be supervised by a parent and more. And also near-infrared sauna therapy is not recommended for pregnant women. But I always recommend you get a test done first, and then depending on your hair analysis and your mineral pattern, near-infrared sauna therapy is so amazing for reducing stress. And basically what I can do, well, let me finish these other ones, and if we have enough time left, I can show you what a near-infrared sauna looks like. But if you just go to Google and you just type in near-infrared sauna, you'll see these red heat lamps, and that's the type I recommend. And there's other saunas out there. There's another type that's called far infrared that have like the heaters. I don't recommend those. Those actually have more electromagnetic radiation, and it's not a problem with the near-infrared sauna therapy, so I think it's just better for health. So that's the type of sauna, and there's individuals, there's companies that sell this type of sauna. If you go to my website, I have 2 websites. I have the KristenHarperSpeaks.com, and that I am a health and wellness speaker. And then I have my other website, which is PerfectHealthConsultingServices.com. And I have it's all about hair analysis there, and my hair analysis packages. And when you go to my homepage, I have you can opt into my, basically you can receive a free Get Healthy ebook. And there's actually 2. I have 2. And you can enter your email address, and you can get those 2 free ebooks. And in there, I talk about hair analysis. I talk about reducing stress. I talk about the near-infrared sauna therapy and how you can actually, build your own for it would be very cost-effective. You can do that, or you can buy one. So I think that Get Healthy ebook would be really beneficial if you go to that at PerfectHealthConsultingServices.com and receive my 2 Get Healthy ebooks. I have 2. One is for fast oxidizers. The other one is for slow oxidizers. And the reason there's 2 is based on hair analysis. There's 2 types of metabolic types. There's slow oxidation and fast oxidation. Slow oxidizers have a slow metabolism. It's associated with weak adrenal and thyroid activity. And I told you earlier that in order to have the maximum amount of energy in the body, the adrenal glands and the thyroid gland have to be working optimally. Well, the majority of our population are slow oxidizers. That's based on hair mineral analysis research. And then the other Get Healthy ebook is for fast oxidizers, who basically fast oxidizers, they have a fast metabolism. So I think that's actually a really good resource for everyone, is to get those Get Healthy ebooks. I have a lot of suggestions as far as even reducing stress. I feel it's so important, but also just I have other health resources there, just so that, and I want to emphasize that everyone should be eating healthy and living a healthy lifestyle. I think that's so important, so that we can, just stay healthy. And honestly, I'm so health conscious. I haven't had sugar in over 10 years. I eat healthy every day. I eat my organic cooked vegetables and eat really healthy foods. So we should be living a very healthy lifestyle, eating healthy, staying away from sugar, reducing stress. I also want to emphasize sleep and rest is so important, especially to help with reducing stress. So you need to make sure, and please, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat box. I would love to answer your questions. I'm definitely here to answer those questions. This is what I recommend. To reduce stress, you need to be going to bed, I'd say, before 9 o'clock every night. That's what I recommend. And you need to sleep at least 8 to 9 hours every night. Because if you don't get enough sleep, then the next day you're exhausted, and it's not good for health. And so you need to be doing that. And if there's times you ever get tired during the day and you have the time, you can always take a nap or do your meditation. And like I mentioned earlier, some people that have the insomnia, that actually can, one type of insomnia is a magnesium deficiency. And like I said, that client that approached me recently and got his hair test, that magnesium that I recommended, he's able to sleep now and go to bed earlier. So, so I see a question here in the chat box. I'll answer that. I'd like to answer that question, and then I'll get on to these other top ways to reduce stress. So basically, how can stress reduction strategies be applied overall to health educators, and how can we advocate at our workplace to have time for yourself? Okay, so let me just take one question at a time here. So the first, again, is how can stress reduction strategies be applied overall to health educators? Okay, so that's actually a good question. Well, I would say that health educators. This is one topic that I feel you should definitely bring back to your to the people that you're educating. I feel that you need to be educating on stress. I have these resources here. I have the Get Healthy ebook, my websites for resources. If you need more resources, I can provide those to you. But I also really feel with health educators, I really feel what's the most powerful right now, I truly believe this, is the meditation. And, I don't know if there's any way, any certifications out there. I think there might be, but, certifications in even meditation, and being a meditation teacher or just learning these practices. But I truly feel even in the workplace, I just feel I know that they have even human resource conferences. There's, but in the workplace, I just feel, and even the health educators, let's be educating on meditation. I mean, these other techniques are so important, but I just feel that every single person should be doing meditation because it's non-denominational. It has many health benefits and will reduce stress. And like I said, meditation is so powerful. I just talked about that radio show. This host that was on my show, and he said that he's been on the radio for 7 years, and that 90% of the people he's talked to all recommend the meditation. especially for reducing stress, that's powerful, and it's working for people. It's helping people. It's helping people all over the world. And then how can we advocate at our workplace to take time for yourself? Yeah. I just feel like with health educators, you just need to bring these topics up. I feel that one topic you really need to talk about is reducing stress and meditation, talking about like what is meditation and the benefits of meditation, how to do meditation, and like, you know, even pulling resources from Eckhart Tolle. And then also I think another really important topic for health educators like is the work-life balance. I think that would be really good in the workplace is to really educate. So basically having a balanced lifestyle and making sure you're not overdoing at work where you're putting in like 50 or 60 hours a week, that you're just, you know, only, you know, doing 40 hours a week, and that you have time in your personal life to take care of your health and do your meditation and reduce stress. And I don't know if I have, I was going to finish up this last, the screen here. I don't know if I have a couple more minutes here. Basically, I just wanted to say humor is so good for your health. It's so good for reducing stress. It's good for your soul. So have fun and laugh. Have a good time. And I had a friend from Finland in the past come and visit me from Finland, and he went with me. I had to do a speaking engagement in New Mexico, and I had so much fun with him on the road trip. And all we did was laugh, and it's just so important for health, and it's good for the soul and reducing stress. I just recommend having humor and laughing, and don't overbook yourself. You need balance in your life at work and also in your personal life. So at home, instead of spending hours on Netflix or hours on Facebook, set some time aside where you're actually able to go for walks out in nature, do your meditation, be able to cook a healthy meal, be able to take your nutritional supplements. You need time for yourself because stress will affect your health. You have to stress. So, and then lastly, this is actually really important too, and I highly recommend it. This is so amazing. Foot reflexology, and this is actually in my Get Healthy ebook. I talk about it. So what it does is it reduces stress, and it also will balance acupuncture meridians in the body. And so you could massage each foot for like 10 minutes, I would say, like 10 minutes per foot. If you don't want to do it yourself, you could have like maybe a family member or a spouse massage your feet. Another option you have is you can go to this website. It's called reflexology-usa.net, and you can find a certified person that has the education and the training who is certified in foot reflexology in your area, in your state, in your location, and then you can schedule a session with that person, and they can do a foot reflexology session. Also, I wanted to say that there's other tools out there for your feet, like there's foot rollers. And that will reduce stress, and it's really relaxing. And what I recommend you do, and if you want to try a foot roller, I actually have one by my desk here. And I've tried a lot. There's a lot that I don't like, but there's one that's called Natural Chemistry is what it's called, and it's orange. It's like an orange color, and I purchased it on Amazon, and I absolutely love it. So foot reflexology is amazing. It will just really reduce stress in your life. So basically, these are all my top ways to reduce stress. And if you have other questions, feel free to put them in the chat box here. So basically, I would say, again, my two websites for more information and resources is the KristenHarperSpeaks.com. That's KRISTEN, HarperSpeaks.com. I'm a health and wellness speaker. And it's interesting. I'm actually glad that I brought this topic up today because I'm going to Las Vegas. I think I'll have to look at my calendar, but I believe I'm going in June to Las Vegas to do a speech on how to reduce stress. So I'll be doing that. And then also my other website is perfecthealthconsultingservices.com. That's Perfect Health, and then consulting is CONSULTING, services, there's an S at the very end, .com, perfecthealthconsultingservices.com. I have all the information about hair analysis and also that Get Healthy ebook that I think would be really valuable for you all. And I think you'll really love it because I provide valuable information. Like I would say that these books, like each book is like very close to 50 pages. And it's just all about, getting healthy. And so, and then, of course, the Power of Now book would be a really good resource for all of you. I recommend that. And then, read the book and then just start your meditation. And I do recommend it on a daily basis. I don't recommend just doing it one time and then you skip a few days and then you do it again. It needs to be consistent. It needs to be, if you want the benefits, it has to be done every single day. That's what I believe. So when I had my eating disorder, I had to do this every single day. And sometimes you might not get the benefits like overnight. It takes time, but eventually you'll definitely experience the benefits. But the most important is you need to do it on a consistent basis and do it every single day. So do you have any other questions for me? Yes, and then chairperson here in the chat basically says that be sure to share my impact when you find ways to reduce stress, and check out the website to learn more about Kristen Harper. Yeah, definitely check out my websites. And the reason I say it is because if you sign up for my Get Healthy ebooks or you follow me, I'm all over social media. Facebook, you can look up Perfect Health Consulting Services. You can also look up my name, Kristen Harper. You'll see me all over social media. I am always educating on health and wellness. That's my passion. So you can follow me on social media. You can go to my YouTube channels, go to my websites, and get information as far as my speaking engagements and any future speaking engagements that I will have. And, my other website to learn about hair analysis. Also, if you're interested, you can go to my radio show, too. It's amazing. I'm on 2 huge networks, and my show is Tips to Keep You Healthy, Happy, and Motivated. It's really exciting. It's very different than most health and wellness radio shows because I cover topics that are normally not covered in mainstream health and wellness programs. So I talk about hair analysis. I talk about other health and wellness topics. And also I've had celebrities and influencers on my show. It's just absolutely wonderful. So you can go to voiceamerica.com. Once you go to that website, then you click on Health and Wellness Channel. And then you'll find my show on Tuesday, which is Tips to Keep You Healthy, Happy, and Motivated. And then I'm at 3 p.m. on Tuesdays is my show on Voice America. 3 p.m. Pacific time. And then when you go to my radio show page, you can actually see all the episodes that I've had on the right-hand side. And all of those are very informative. I mean, you'll learn so much. I talk about hair analysis, meditation. I had the famous Roy Masters on my show, and we talked about meditation, the importance of meditation. He was on there for an hour. He's well known. And I had one episode on the dangers of fluoride in water, and also about toxins, that people are toxic. And there's one episode on near-infrared sauna therapy. And like even just yesterday, I had 2 guests on my show, and we talked about the chakras, which are 7 main energy centers that we have, and that they need to stay in balance for good health and happiness. But also my guest talked about the importance of reducing stress. So there's a lot of resources that are available for all of you, and definitely check out my show. I'm also on KFNX in Phoenix, which is one of the largest. I think they have the largest signal in Phoenix, Arizona. So basically my show is worldwide. So I think that's all. I think we're at the end here. And basically it says here, the last question is, where will you be in the next 3 years? Where do you okay, that's a good question. Where do you see yourself? And I just will say that my biggest goal in life is I want to be just a really, I want to take my speaking to the next level and just be this well-known speaker all over the world and just talk about health and wellness. That's ultimately my goal. And I really want to expand my radio show and get it onto other networks. And I just want to help more and more people with consulting as far as their hair tests and getting people healthy. And also I see myself in medical school as well because I want to become a doctor of naturopathic medicine. So I'm very goal-oriented. I am an Aries. And so I have a lot of goals planned for myself. So I just want to thank you so much for this opportunity, and if you ever have questions, you can always reach out to me as well. And I have my email address is Kristen, Kristen, at KristenHarperSpeaks.com. And again, thank you so much for the opportunity, and I wish all of you, good health, perfect health and inner peace, and take care.
Thank you, Kristen. On behalf of SOPHE, thank you to Kristen and to all our participants today. Once again, today's webinar was recorded and will be archived within 2 weeks on SOPHE's Core. Please take a moment to complete the brief feedback form that will pop up in your Internet browser following this webinar. Again, if you are interested in continuing education credits, please visit SOPHE's Core and realize that there will be a fee when purchasing depending on your SOPHE membership. And thank you so much. This ends our session today.